Hey there everybody, this is Aaron with Downtown Bike here in lovely Cashmere, Washington. Today I want to talk about what are we going to do about traction while we're both on and off the bike when we enter into this winter season. One of the blessings about being out here in north central Washington is that we have those 4 seasons of which we will have to encounter the white, slippery, sticky stuff known as snow and ice. So ultimately it comes down to traction, and the traction for being both on and off the bike. We're not talking about the bikes themselves, we're talking about what's going on with our feet. And so ultimately, let's start with the pedals. Having the SPDs or clip-in pedals, in my past experience and recommendations from others, they haven't been necessarily the best option for traction while being on the bike because the clip-in mechanism gets packed in with snow, ice, and mud that just gets frozen and nasty. It doesn't work, rendering the pedal useless. So what are some other options for us? The first option would be pedals themselves, which come in either composite or alloy. You get composite alloys that have molded in pins like this set here. You can see the pins there that have some added traction. There are also composite alloy flats out there that have removable and replaceable pins. What's really cool about these removable and replaceable pins, like these ones from Deity, is that if you want to have more aggressive traction, you can actually go down to your local hardware store or specialty screw store and get longer or shorter screws to actually increase or decrease the level of aggressive grip that you want on the pedal itself. But ultimately, it's also about what's it like when you've got to get your feet off the bike, when it's slippery out, how are you going to handle that? I've had some folks say, well, I just use Yak Track, but they're chunky and heavy, and which is a kind of a strap mechanism that goes over a shoe that some of them have pins on them. Some folks felt that those pins weren't aggressive enough. Other folks felt that the heavy-duty ones that were like chains were just too crunchy. So folks have used hiking boots, they're Sorels, but they tend to be really heavy. So why can't I use my regular mountain shoe that maybe is waterproof and warm enough already, but what can I do to have better traction on that? And so after doing some research, I actually came across this company called Icespike. Icespike's been around for a while. They actually have a great amount of traction, no pun intended, in the hockey world as trainers and coaches. They want to be able to get on the ice without having to get skates. And so what are ice spikes? And literally they are spikes, these little screws that they screw into their normal everyday shoes. The screw head on there is actually molded with a bit of a biting teeth on there, which are really cool. And then there is this screw aspect. And you literally screw it into the shoe. They come with a special tool that can do that. If you have the bit that can use the drill, you can use the drill. Just gotta be careful not to go too hard with them. But they're actually pretty easy. You put the screw in the tool, you mark off where in the shoe you want the spike to be. Their recommendation looked to be about 12 spikes per shoe. So measure in about 1/2 inch, take your tool with your screw, put a little bit of pressure, start screwing it in, and it'll get to the point where you start feeling a little bit of pressure. It's not going to stop all the way like you're screwing into wood or metal, but it will be enough that it's like, okay, yep, we're in there, we're good. And so that's how you get them in there on your shoe. Now, the question is well, gee, I'm putting a screw through my shoe. Is it going to poke my foot? And the answer is no. This screw is actually pretty short. And so when I kind of line it up here, here's the sole, here's the kind of the white foamy cushiony aspect to it. There's a denser foam cushion. Usually there's those levels of protection that most shoes have. So when the screw actually goes into the shoe, you can see it actually doesn't go that far into that foamy section. So I've got all this other protection that's protecting my footbed from the screw itself. So you're not going to feel the pokies through your foot and start doing acupuncture there. While you're walking around them, do you feel it? Does it feel a little bit weird? Yes, it does. But the thing you will notice, it does give you crazy amount of traction. I walked around on smooth concrete, walked around on rough concrete, on asphalt. Crazy traction there. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that be your regular way of walking around because, again, these are talking about getting on the ice, in the snow, where it's slippery. So, but when you are in the ice, the snow, slippery areas, it's got great traction. They bite in there really good. I would have no problem walking around on these in the snow and ice. I feel like I have got a ridiculous amount of traction. Next question, though, is hey, look, these are my expensive mountain shoes. These suckers aren't cheap. Is it going to ruin my shoe forever? And again, the answer is no. Yes, does it put in a little hole like here? I did drill in for one there, so you can see it right there. It says left a little hole, but the thing is, it does go all the way through the shoe. I took this shoe, stomped around a bunch of puddles. It wasn't getting it wet. It was doing just fine. So when you're done with the season, take the screws out and your shoe's good to go. So what's it like riding Icespikes on pedals? So one thing I won't recommend, alloy or metal pedals with these metal on metal, that is slippery. It's not going to work, and I wouldn't recommend it. Now, as for the composites, whether it's composites like a molded in pins or with removable pins, because the material itself is composite, it's a soft enough material that it'll bite in, it'll hold really well. It's got excellent traction. Feel it's great, but the nice thing is as soon as you come off the pedal and you get on the snow and ice down below, you're not sliding out that way. So what does this all mean? We're going to be carrying them here at Downtown Bike. Whether you're going to be a snow rider who wants to rent one of the fat bikes, oh yes, fat bikes coming here to Downtown Bike here very soon from Borealis. Looking forward to that. Or if you want to be able to be a runner or a hiker and you just want to wear a different kind of shoe that's on the snow and ice conditions, so, we don't need to have snowshoes or you're in a full-on, ice spikes, crampons type thing. This is a great alternative. It really is. We're going to have them here at Downtown Bike. Love to be able to have you come down and see us. Thanks for listening. Have any questions about it? Give us a call. Take care. Have a great day.